Sadly, I don't understand the lyrics. That's like my main problem, of course. Like, I don't speak all those languages. I'd love to.
You and me both, Mr. Harms. Throughout the history of Eurovision, different strategies have been implemented to ensure the most success for the song. For example, certain keywords in the lyrics, a catchy tune, and an easy dance that you can replicate on social media. But there aren't many actual requirements for the contents of the performance. I mean, obviously, it cannot be offensive, it cannot be political, and it has to be less than 3 minutes. And the contestants have constantly been proving that you can get clearance for pretty much anything other than that. I guess there also must be a requirement for how much body you can show on stage, because this guy once promised us a naked performance and all we got was an animation. I mean, yeah, it's live TV, so... But wouldn't it be a game changer to know the actual meaning of all the lyrics performed in different languages? Like, remember this one? It's a cryptic performance with a lot of elements and it's very baffling to me to this day. I wonder how it ties in with the title, which they decided to translate even though they didn't have to. Having the translation of the song revealed might convince more countries to sing in their own languages, because this is like the best part. And somehow still not a requirement for some countries. For most countries, actually. There are countries that historically put forward a performance so specific to their own culture that it is very hard for the rest of Europe to understand, not to mention the rest of the world, which is probably like, what the hell is going on? It's Eurovision! Who the hell knows what's going on? This year, for example, Albania is putting a whole family on stage in a very dramatic show, and I read it tells a story of a family that love each other despite the differences. But this is something that will go unnoticed for the audiences that will see them for the first time during the semi-final and might ultimately hinder their chances of success. People seeing this performance for the first time on live TV will hardly have any time to even think about, like, what's going on. And a friendly reminder that this year, for the first time ever, you can vote in Eurovision wherever you are in the world. What I'm trying to say is, when you sing about your own culture in your own language, this is the best part of the Eurovision. So how do you connect the two? Localization. Why is localization so important? Remember the Subwoofer song about giving a banana to a wolf before he eats the grandma? Of course you do, who are we kidding? It makes a little bit more sense if you have ever heard the story about the Little Red Riding Hood. Now imagine for a second that you have no idea about the story. Is this song still funny to you? The song is actually an allegory for the whole COVID situation. Look it up, you will be surprised. There is a country that provided translations for all Eurovision songs during the official broadcast on screen, and that country is China. Chinese Manco TV had the rights for the official broadcast to 2018 when they have been banned for censoring the gay content. And by the gay content, I mean this specific performance. That's right. I still don't understand why they decided to censor this one. I mean, Chinese internet is full of BL stuff. Eurovision is so beautifully gay that censoring all those parts makes about as much sense as censoring all the naked parts in the Game of Thrones. Oh wait. Anyway, the breakup was so bad that all the manga TV streams disappeared from the internet. You can still watch the performances and all the competitions in their entirety on Bilibili, which is like a Chinese equivalent of our YouTube, and they are uncensored, copied straight from YouTube. So what's the point? What you have to know about the Chinese TV is that everything has subtitles. C-dramas, subtitles. The news, subtitles. As I mentioned before in this channel, this is what makes the Chinese TV the ultimate, greatest medium for learning Chinese. And I mean, you have the Eurovision, which is the singing show, on live TV with subtitles. you can have a KTV session right at home. I don't understand why the whole Europe isn't doing this right now. So typically on Chinese TV, when there is a line in another language, you would have both that language and the Chinese translation. So during this video, I will be using my research paper wrote back in 2017 for my master's degree in translation, all about analyzing the Chinese translations of Eurovision Song Contest 2017. If you have experience with master's or doctoral degree, then you've probably been in this situation when your supervisor is like, oh, tomorrow is a conference and you're speaking, so I hope you have a research paper lying around. So it was a bit hasty for sure, but I figured if I'm going to do it, I might just as well make it about something that I actually enjoy. So yeah, all I have to go on right now are some random screenshots that I posted on my WeChat moments at the time, just for fun. The thing is that translation of artistic texts like songs or poems is much harder than the technical texts, for example, because you have to actually understand the implied contexts and the cultural references and so on. And here's where the theory of dynamic equivalence comes in. Once upon a time, in 1995, Vinay and Darbelnet decided that sometimes translation replicates a certain situation but puts it in different words. And that's what they decided to call the equivalence. This theory is applicable for most of the translations of the contest, but sometimes it just seems like somebody had fun with it, okay? Some of the songs don't even make any sense because the text was just designed to fit the melody and that's it. And I wish I could credit the translators here, but all the info has been deleted together with the official broadcast, so if you have any links to the recovered originals or any info about it, just comment down below and I will get to it. So here is a complete official Chinese translation for the song by Robin Bengtsson representing Sweden, I Can't Go On.
Warning: the following English text is the back translation of the Chinese text and not the original lyrics. Have fun!
I can't go on, I can't go on, I can't go on, I can't go on, yeah. This freaking beautiful. And I can't go on, I can't go on, I can't go on, I can't go on, yeah. Ooh, so freaking beautiful, baby, I just can't go on.
No, wait for a second. So all he really says here is, you make me want to go, oh. But according to the Chinese translation, what he really means is, you fill my life with hope. My intentions are true. This is a bit of a stretch when you know that this song is basically a guy commenting on a girl's body. But this one was a 洗脑神曲 for sure. And it was designed to be like that. Sweden is constantly scoring very high with the jury because they care a lot about the Eurovision. They throw a lot of money into it. And they know what it's about. Okay, here's another example. The song is called Skeletons. The artist is Dihash and she is representing Azerbaijan.
When you got this fantasy, we're just like alchemy. I've never been so ready. How I skeleton.
I loved the song when it first came out. I loved the staging, it was amazing. But I could never really figure out what this song is about. And when I was trying to analyze it, my mind went to some really dark places. It turns out it's not that dark at all. According to the official Eurovision website, Dihash says, I want to show the Eurovision's audience it doesn't matter how different or alternative you are. You can be heard and seen by audiences all around the world. Fun fact, if you don't know what a song is about, you can go to Eurovision.tv and find out what the artist is talking about it. And sometimes it really makes all the pieces fall together, but sometimes you can totally tell it's made up and nobody knows what it's about. Anyway, so the song title Skeletons has been translated as Secrets, which is great. I mean, skeletons in the closet is an English saying that when you translate it directly into Chinese, it will sound very fake. So maybe somebody can explain to me what a thorn jeans are? Is this a euphemism for something, or... Well, the translator didn't seem to know either, so they had to make something up, right? I don't even know if the translators had the means to communicate with the artist and confirm this in any way, because maybe this is just what the author intended. Maybe there's no thorns, no jeans, just being afraid of the sting of love. Which, I guess we have to agree, makes more sense than the actual lyrics. Okay, this is the last one I miraculously recovered. The artist is Slavko Kalezic and he's representing Montenegro with the song Space.
Let's explore this galaxy of stars. I have my suit on, no need to worry. Give me your body, let's write a story. Our body language, rock it to the stars. I have my suit on, no need to worry. Give me your body, let's write a story. Our body language, rock it to the stars.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing this song was meant to be as dirty as possible, and the Chinese translation has made it slightly less horny. Does anybody want to have a crack at this one? Anyone? I mean, the Chinese translation actually makes sense because he's talking about the wet dreams and nightmares. So come to me from a dream kind of fits, right? I really wish I had something more to go on with this one, because I'm having a lot of fun, but we have to end here. Once again, song translation is very hard. You have a lot of factors to consider, and the Eurovision Song Contest is even harder because some of these songs weren't written to make sense to begin with. So, you know, when it doesn't make sense and you have to translate it, you have to somehow make sense of it. As one of the professors used to say in my BA, we as translators don't need to understand, we just need to make it work. So, given all those circumstances, I think the translators did great here. But do let me know what you think, and if you have any info at all where I could find those original videos, please comment below because I would love to work on a bigger sample.